Coming up on City Spotlight, we're on location once again, this time in Arcola. We'll get caught up on the latest in Arcola with Arcola Mayor Larry Ferguson and Arcola City Administrator Bill Wagoner on a grant that will help Arcola Parks, a new revolving loan fund that will aid future projects in Arcola, plus new economic development, and a new solar farm that will be built off South Route 45 in Arcola. And then we'll get caught up on the latest with Arcola Schools, with Arcola Schools Superintendent Dr. Tom Mulligan on new and future physical changes involving Project Lead the Way, the High School Media Center, and additions and renovations to Arcola Elementary School. It's the latest on-location episode here in Season 6, and we're talking all things Arcola here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location once again here in Season 6, the second half of Season 6. We're taping here in the third week of January 2020, and we are pleased to be back in Arcola. And first time we're taping here in City Hall. We normally have these two gentlemen to my right. Larry Ferguson, Mayor of Arcola, Bill Wagoner, Arcola City Administrator. I'm glad to be on your turf this time.
We're happy to have you here.
We appreciate you making the short drive here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going between City Hall and Arcola Schools, we'll have Dr. Mulligan in the next segment here. Last time we taped with you gentlemen was, I believe, was October of 2018, so a little ways ago. Happy New Year, and we have a lot going on in Arcola, especially in the last couple months. First off, just 2 days ago, announced a parks grant across the state of Illinois by Governor Pritzker, and Arcola is a recipient of a pretty good wad of money.
Yes, we're very excited. We've been in the planning stages on a big park project for a number of years, and the state had closed out the OSLAD program for a long time. So this is the second cycle since Governor Pritzker came back, and it's a good opportunity for us. We're looking at building a splash pad, so we have a nice feature for young families, all access available to people. And then we're going to add another ball field. We've had a need for a third baseball field. This will be a little smaller for coach pitch. We're working with the school on then doing a new concession stand and restrooms out there. We'll work with Summer Rec too, and it'll be a nice project for our community. In the past couple of years, we've done renovations to our tennis courts out there. We put in a hard surface soccer court, and we've been reseeding our soccer fields with more aggressive, kind of a self-healing turf to hang in there for the wear and tear. So, like I said, this is just kind of the next phase of our park projects, and we're really excited.
Parks are essential to any community, and specifically here in Arcola, this will be for the Kelly Moore Memorial Park.
Correct. Yes.
Big park, lots of ground.
A lot of things going on out there. If you drive by, the facility, it's, man, I tell you, there's even in the late fall, they're out there playing softball and that type of thing. Soccer goes on from whenever they can get out there when the weather's right. They utilize that. Sometimes we have to move them around to keep our turf, in good shape. But
right.
It's really a great place for the young folks to go and older folks to go and watch the games. And we do partner with the school. They do have their baseball team out there, and we'd love to work with the school and other venues. So.
When I used to live in Tuscola, I brought my kids when they were much younger, and enjoyed the parks there because it's just big ground, lots to do there. You mentioned splash pad, and I'm familiar with and all access that you talked about. Paris not too long ago had the same thing done, so I can visualize what it might look for Arcola. So that's going to be a great addition.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Then a couple of months ago, November 25th, we had some people here in town for a big announcement of establishing a revolving loan fund. Tell us what was that all about?
So that was really exciting too. We've got you can see a lot of the good things that we've got going on in our community, and right. It's just a lot of people dedicated to pulling this together, and that was part of our outreach with our ACE organization. We applied to the USDA for a rural business enterprise grant. Right. For $100,000, and we established a revolving loan fund, and it's helping our new dentist practice downtown. He used the loan to buy equipment, and he'll be opening later this week.
Right. You had a couple of people there show up for that, Congressman Shimkus and USDA Rural Development State Director Douglas Wilson. What? So you said somebody's benefiting from it already. This is a revolving, so that means it.
Yeah, so we'll have further projects as he begins making his loan repayments here in the next month. And Director Wilson was really great. He's from a small town in north of Bloomington Normal, and he has a lot of our same values and understands our needs. And it's really exciting to partner with the USDA on that project.
Excuse me. What's nice about that is that it is a low interest loan, and it will actually bring the dollars back into that program, so we can actually further help our community with other projects.
Okay, very good. Third item on the list, always like to hear about if there's any new economic development in town, and that's on the list. So what can you tell us about new businesses in Arcola?
Well, since you were last here, we opened a coffee shop downtown. That's Dan and his family have a nice operation there. You guys should definitely check it out, the Broomtown Cafe. They've got locally sourced food, and of course, they have specialty coffees. I'm not really a coffee drinker myself, but I've heard it's really good, so I'll take their word for it.
All right.
But we also have the dentist office coming into town here, and then we've got some prospects that we've been talking to, so hopefully it's just kind of a wave of good things coming.
What's ironic about the two buildings is it used to be Homestead and Loan Bank on the corner where the Broomtown Cafe is.
Yes.
That bank moved to the location where the dentist office is going to be. Okay. So it's kind of they moved
around.
Yeah, repurposed, I guess, as you might say. So we're really excited about those things making Arcola a better place.
Okay, very good. And I don't know if it was officially announced, but not too long ago there was some talks of a solar farm on the south end of Arcola. What's the latest you can tell on that, please?
So we've been working with Anthony Donato and his father Antonio. Anthony is a graduate at U of I, and they're just entrepreneurs in general. They're involved in a number of businesses in Champaign and then their home in the suburbs. But they are wanting to take on a small community solar farm. They're going to each do a project just south of town on Route 45, 2 megawatts each under the state's community solar program. I think the state has a goal of having 300 megawatts of community solar projects up and running by 2030. So This is hopefully one of their projects.
Okay.
And it's exciting to see young entrepreneurs that are looking to invest in our community, even though they're not from here. They see a value in being a part of Arcola, and that's great.
And how will it benefit Arcola moving forward?
Well, I mean, I think it just puts you in the 21st century of how things are done. I just the land won't be able to be used for anything else other than that. But I think the renewable energy is definitely a plus. Bill talk on this point is that actually at our waste treatment plant. Mm-hmm. I don't think you were able to talk about that before. We've got solar panels out there to run that. Okay. Right. I want to pass that on to Bill. He was really instrumental in getting those put out there, and we're going to save a lot of money once that's. I think we're basically
so multiple locations with solar.
Yes. Yeah. It's
excellent. All right. Very good. So from solar farm in the works, south part of Arcola, prospects for new housing. What's up with that?
Well, our ACE group, which is Arcola Community Economic Development Group, right. We formed that about a year and a half ago. Correct. A lot of different players in that. Yes. We do get to eat lunch every Tuesday. Right. It kind of shows. We can talk about different things about recruiting and that type of thing, and then we have a full board that meets once a month. We're looking at different ways to put some housing and some developments. Mike Lindenmeyer has a development out on the southeast of town here. We're trying to get some prospecting new homes put up for spec homes. We're trying to get some new generation out there at Greenmill Village in their location, correct. That type of thing. Okay. So we're out there, got our boots on the ground, and correct. We're trying to get some things done. The group's really done a great job.
We've talked maybe a couple episodes ago about that area, Greenmill Village, far east side of the interstate, and that area and how it could develop. So good to hear some potential action out that way.
We're really working on that really hard, yeah.
All right, very good. Last time we talked, there was some road work over by Libman's going on with the new bypass road. It's been a little over a year since we talked about that. I have not seen it yet prior to this taping, but we'll hopefully get some video of that. How's that working out so far?
The road is up and functional. We are waiting on the Canadian National Railroad to finish up the last little piece of it. They have to put some new gates and signals down there, so I think that's on tap for them this spring once the weather finally breaks. So Right now it's operational, but it'll be a little bit safer once they get the gates on and handle the crossing work
Yeah,
itself.
I've noticed a lot more traffic, truck traffic there. I live just right off of that road. And
so you got a bird's
to the
eye-
north,
you got a bird's eye view.
I have a bird's eye view. And what's nice, it is a very nice road.
Yes.
It brings them in quietly, if that, as far as that goes. It's a nice, smooth road. They did a really great job putting that in. Our drainage is a little bit better within that area because we're all flat.
Right. Absolutely.
So they really did, the crews that did it, and the engineers and all that did a really great job putting that road. It's a really nice road.
And Libman's been a really great partner.
Yeah.
They helped contribute to the project, and then they've also been working to update Google Maps and Waze so that their drivers that are making these deliveries know what route they need to be on.
As you guys mentioned in the last time we taped, October 2018, just the sheer number of traffic that you have involving Libman. So this is definitely a positive, and it helped out with the drainage. So
Yes.
two things happened there. Well, the next time we'll hopefully be here for City Spotlight in Arcola will be in early September, because we're coming up on a milestone number for Broomcorn. It'll be the 50th Broomcorn come September 11th through 13th, and I'm sure the folks at the Chamber, Angie Miller and them, are busy working hard to put together what should be probably a very good show, as Arcola always does with Broomcorn.
Yeah, they've been, they're actively working on a new campaign to promote it. They've got some key contributors to Broomcorn that have been involved in many different levels, from planning to participating to, well, Dave Barry's going to do a shout out for us, an interview, and we're going to push that on social media. Just a lot of good things coming out of that, a lot of good conversations, a lot of new ideas to freshen up the festival a little bit.
Right.
And hopefully they're throwing some names out for entertainment, but nothing's been signed yet. So hopefully we can get something locked in early there and make a splash.
Little too early for us to talk about exactly what will be transpiring there, but had to get the word out, and I'll definitely be there. And you mentioned Dave Barry, and Dave Barry has a nice, wonderful relationship with Broomcorn because he's an honorary lawn ranger.
Correct.
Absolutely. He gave a very inspiring speech last year, I heard. So I look for him to return again this year and offer the same insights and directions to the new guys and get everybody oriented.
Since we last taped with you gentlemen, we had Mr. Pat Monahan on, so got a nice little history of the Lawn Rangers for our folks at home that may have not been aware of the history of the Lawn Rangers and how they've been a part of Broomcorn Festival here in Arcola. Gentlemen, that's all I have on the list. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention here in our final minute or so?
We had with one of your, I guess your affiliates, I'm not sure if that's the right word, WCIA, we did our town here in Arcola back August of this last year. It was great. The weather was perfect. The school brought their meet and greets with their football team, and it was just a really great collaboration with everyone. I mean, it was just a wonderful time. So we was really happy to see that come together. And we had our fire departments, our police. We had street. What was that, broom soccer? That type. It was just really a great time.
Yeah. And they're actually going to bring that back again in August, and it'll be kind of a kickoff to the school year. And it's really nice to have the cooperation that we have with the school and the chamber and the city. We're all kind of on the same sheet of music for the first time in a long time, and it's Tom's great, Angie's great. The school board's been good to work with, so we're excited. A lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah, Tom's on the injured reserve list, though. He kind of stretched it out there a little bit. And
Tom's got his hands in a little bit of everything, doesn't he?
He's a great guy. I just wanted to mention that it was really a great turnout. So
great community events going on. Obviously, Arcola has been featured not only here on City Spotlight, but the Our Story series on WEAU as well.
Yeah,
so
we appreciate you.
We're getting the story of Arcola out everywhere, all media outlets.
Yeah, we really appreciate you doing this. It was our fourth time, I think.
I've lost count. This is our sixth season, so I've lost count of how many times you've been on. I think you've been on every season.
Yeah, we really appreciate you doing this.
It's great getting caught up on the latest going on in Arcola with lots of announcements of projects moving forward, and we thank the time again, once again, of Larry Ferguson and Bill Wagoner of City of Arcola. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll change locations and we'll get caught up on the latest going on with Arcola Schools with Dr. Tom Mulligan, Superintendent of Arcola Schools. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Arcola. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode on Arcola. As you can see, we've changed locations and we're back at a familiar spot. the Arcola Schools Superintendent's Office, and we're pleased to welcome back to the program Dr. Tom Mulligan, Superintendent of Arcola Schools. Tom, great as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I always love being on the show.
Appreciate it. Happy New Year. We're taping
New
here
Year
in
to
the third week of January 2020. Last time we taped with Tom was last February, so about a year ago. Glad to get caught up on some of the physical changes going on. One thing that you talked about last time on was the Project Lead the Way engineering program. Get us caught up on that, please.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of physical changes, we renovated a big part of our ag shop and added a brand new Project Lead the Way engineering lab in there. The reason we did that is because we wanted to add a Project Lead the Way. It's an engineering program for our middle school students in 8th grade. They start out by taking a design and modeling class, and it really teaches them the main concepts of that design and modeling process, which they'll use in future engineering classes. And then we have 2 teachers teaching the Introduction to Engineering class this year, and we've got over 20 students in that class. And then next year we're adding a second class, the Principles of Engineering.
The skills of engineering always needed in the workforce, so for your ability to teach a variety of kids, because you have several levels of kids learning it, it's invaluable.
Yeah, I think we're we're really excited about it. One of the reasons we started the program is we have a lot of students. We've had a lot of students over the last several years go to Parkland and take the Pathways program, which leads them into the engineering program at the U of I, and we really wanted to expose more of our students to that opportunity, and also better prepare our students who are going into the Pathways program. So we're really excited about it.
You've gotten feedback from the students that are a part of the program?
Yeah, we've got great feedback. I did an article a couple months ago. I actually had a lot of quotes from the students, and it's just a different course for them. It's very much hands-on. It's very much real world learning. It's solving real life problems, and I think they love the class so far.
And again, as a superintendent, educator, you're adding something else to the things that your school district offers, and you're seeing that the students are enjoying it. So it's
absolutely.
Definitely
it really connects right with our first strategic goal of our district, which is career and college readiness, and so that was a really successful implementation.
All right, so Project Lead the Way, the Ag Shop renovation, and we have a big renovation currently going on right now, the High School Media Center renovation.
Yeah, so the High School Media Center has been really exciting. When you look at our media center, it's a beautiful facility, right? I mean, it's 20 years old, but it's only 20 years old. But when you say that, 20 years on the same furniture and that kind of stuff, it's begun to wear and tear.
Yeah.
So we really have done a lot of research on how we support a learning environment to fit within our vision of collaboration and innovation and those kinds of things. So we just approved a bid to redo all of the furniture in that space to make it more of a collaborative learning. We're going to have some collaborative tables with some interactive TVs to continue. We've been very forward-thinking and innovative with our technology. We've been a one-to-one district for over 5 years now, and so this is just another piece of continuing that focus on collaboration and innovation. So we're really excited, and I do have to say that both the Project Lead the Way and the Media Center renovation is being funded by the Libman Company. They donated $140,000 a couple years ago, and those are 2 of the projects we're using those funds for.
So multiple things coming from the obvious contributions of a local.
It's incredible. It goes back to the connection of this community with the school district. I mean, you can't find a community that's more supportive than Arcola. So
absolutely excellent. Can't go an Arcola episode without talking something Arcola football-ish.
Of course. You
also had some renovations before the start of this past season. New football locker room.
Yeah. So if you ask anybody what's the most exciting thing about the fall in Arcola, they're going to tell you football, right? But if you ask any of our staff What's the worst thing about fall? They would tell you the smelly hallways as football players were tracing through our main hallway to go to the old locker room. So we decided to create a whole new locker room out by the football field.
Okay.
And we had a large donation from the Avery Foundation. They purchased all of the stadium-style lockers. And it just ended up being a beautiful space, an incredible space for our kids. I think, you know, they work really hard. They've had a lot of success. They deserve that kind of facility. Mm-hmm. And we had more compliments from the people in our building that we got those smelly football pads out of our building. You can't believe how successful that implementation was.
All right, very good. So we had some visuals to show you of that, and another big one, and Tom has some artwork to show us on this next one here. Newly proposed elementary school building additions and renovations.
Yeah.
Tell us about this big project.
So this is huge. So a little over a year ago, we finished kind of our long-term facility plan, and we've had the 1% sales tax now for probably 8 years now, and we've done a lot of the immediate things that needed to be done, the things that we had to fix in order to be able to continue to function.
Right.
And what we wanted to do was really look, okay, let's plan out and look long-term. And one of the big things we decided was we really need some help in our elementary school. It's a 1955 building. You've got the same hallways, you've got the same flooring, you've got the same things that have been there for, you know, almost 70 years.
Wow.
And so we've been doing a lot of work on preparing what we wanted to do. And we just went out to bid on it's basically an addition. We'll add a new office area, new classrooms going out from our current building, and then renovating all the hallways. And this is actually this is the current building here, and it's currently flat all the way across. So this whole new addition that comes out here, that will be the new office and the new several smaller classrooms. We're going to open up the hallway, make it a larger space. We're going to renovate the media center. We're actually adding new bathrooms because our bathrooms, I mean, you got 70-year-old bathrooms and you got little ones. They don't always aim the best, so it's time to renovate those bathrooms.
I have two. I have that problem at home. I see this sign here. Is that going to be a digital sign?
Yeah, we're hoping that'll be a digital sign. It's kind of funny that everybody locks into the sign, but that was kind of like a placeholder, I think.
I wasn't too far off in seeing it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, yeah, and we really wanted to match the new high school from 2001.
Yes.
And have that consistent look. Because really we've got this 100-year-old building is just beautiful. I mean, when you ride by, it's just unbelievable. And then you got this brand new, beautiful high school addition. And then you enter your elementary school, and we've got some amazing things going on in the classroom. But when you look at the facility, you're kind of like, I mean, so it's not only going to improve the facility, it's going to improve the functionality for kids, how we service kids. Because it's all about that, right? It's all about, you don't build buildings and make them nicer just to make them nicer. You do it to improve how you service and educate kids. So we're really excited about that.
So I guess the question that folks at home may want to know here is, we're at the start of 2020. When could we see the work on that?
Okay, we're hoping to start this summer. So we've got bids coming back in early February, and we're hoping to start construction in actually April. But the one thing I really want to highlight is that this is not going to have any impact on our taxpayers. So we're going to sell debt certificates, and we're going to pay those off over a period of time with a portion of our sales tax proceeds we get annually. So it's great that we can do this kind of an addition and improvement without impacting, the taxpayers. So.
And as far as the work being done, is it going to be worked on while the students are in the school probably?
What we're going to do hopefully is start in early April, and we're going to start, we're going to be shutting down our current main office, and we're going to relocate that for a couple months.
Yep.
So they're going to start on the outside of the building, and then once the students are out, boom, we've got a big chunk of asbestos abatement that's got to go on.
Right.
We've got asbestos in the ceiling and then the entire flooring. And then once that's done, they'll really kick it in. We're hoping to be ready to go by the end of August.
Remind our folks at home how long you've been on the job here at Arcola.
Yeah, this is actually, I think, my 7th year here in Arcola.
And you've consistently had physical changes happening one by one. Obviously, you can't work on the whole entire thing.
No.
But you pointed out how old the different sections are. We, not too long ago, talked about the number of years the school is,
Right,
the big anniversary that recently happened.
100-year anniversary.
So to see the direction that you're taking the school district, not just the wonderful stuff inside, but you've been able to make some major, I mean, you don't renovate a building every year.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. And we have really, I think, the board and the staff and I have worked so closely about really doing a good job of planning for our future and making these improvements that are going to be long-term, that are going to last for a long time, and are really going to significantly impact the students. So, and I think that's what our community deserves, and I think that's what we want to give them.
Great support from local businesses in the community helping out. We've been getting caught up on lots of physical changes going on in the Arcola School District, and we appreciate the time once again of Dr. Tom Mulligan, Superintendent of Arcola Schools. Tom?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure as always. And that'll do it for another on-location episode here on City Spotlight. We've been in Arcola for this one, and we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.